Hello and welcome back to Tsukihime. My name is Maybe Dennis, and last time Shiki feels really bad physically, so he's like, I gotta leave this room. I gotta go to where my body takes me, and he ends up wandering to the park where he sees Arcueid. And they kind of have a talk, but kind of boils down to, yeah, Shiki, I need to kill you, but I don't want to kill you. The only way I can really do this is to let you become my servant, and do this willingly, or else I'll do it by force. They kind of fight a little bit, and she ends up kind of winning, saying that, you know, she still really loves him and she doesn't want to hurt Shiki. So like basically comply or else you're gonna force me to do what I have to do. And Shiki says no and breaks her feelings. Not only that, but also cuts off her neck because a lion appears. And then we get this weird transformation sequence where Arcueid becomes very scary. And yeah, she's gonna go berserk, it seems. Ciel comes in, basically saves us at the nick of time, and now we're going back to school, trying to find a way to basically ambush her, make it so that we can cause as little damage as possible. Whew, yeah, it seems like we're getting to the thick of things. The encounter with Arcueid was once again very horrifying, but also very arousing, as usual for a lot of things in this game. But yeah, I don't know how much longer this will be. Maybe this will be the final fight, but we're gonna head into it. So yeah, let's do just that.
遠野くんは3階で隠れていてください。彼女と戦うのは私の役割ですから。
Yeah, you hide because you're not strong enough. I don't know about that, but that I can't do. I was the one who drove Arcueid to madness. Besides, Ciel can't fool me. I can sense her trepidation. She doesn't stand a chance and she knows it. She's just trying to put me at ease.
俺も戦います。あいつをおかしくしたのも、先輩の言いつけを守れなかったのも、俺がバカだったからです。
It was really funny how like Ciel came over. She's like, what the hell just happened? There was like a distortion in the space-time continuum. We're like, whoops, my bad.
だから、せめて自分でケリをつけないと。
遠野くん、私怒りますよ。
She's blushing a little bit. It's like, no, we're in a relationship now. You ain't gonna die. Ciel glares daggers at me, though she seems more exhausted than angry.
私の体のことは知っているでしょ。私は何があっても死にません。けど遠野くんは別です。確かにあなたの目ならアルクエイドを倒せるかもしれませんが、その前に彼女の爪があなたを殺します。遠野くん、言ったじゃないですか。私を幸せにしてくれるって。なら、お願いですからこんなところで死なないでください。
Aww, she's fighting so hard to keep Shiki alive now because Shiki means so much to her. Oh, it's so sweet.
先輩一人じゃ、あいつには。
見くびらないでください。私が今まで何体の使徒を仕留めてきたと思っているんですか？
I mean, that might be true, but she's kind of on another level and lost all her rationale.
こと吸血鬼退治なら、私の右に出る者はいないのです。
I think that's actually true. You know, before like playing Tsukihime, I thought that Ciel was just another church member, like so your average Joe, but just, you know, undercover. I didn't realize she'd be brawlic as fuck. But she is extremely powerful. But definitely, I mean, there's a reason why you haven't been able to take down Arcueid for the last 800 years. Funny. Oh, Ciel strikes a confident pose. Funny. If her hands weren't trembling, I'd almost be convinced.
ダメだよ。
ダメだね。
先輩、俺はそれでも。
I can't leave her to fend for herself, even if it costs me my life. But before I can tell her as much, she presses the fingers to my lip. Aww.
その先はそれこそ言っちゃダメです。お願いですから、私のわがままを聞いてください。
You already know that we're gonna promise her that we're not gonna leave, but then we're gonna break the promise.
一度ぐらい、本当に一度ぐらい、私だけの意志であなたを守りたいんです。そうしないと、私は遠野くんに心から笑顔を向けられなくなっちゃうじゃないですか。
Oh, she's so tired of being fake. Now she can really like show her true self, and she's like, if you don't let me do this, it'll be really hard for me to ever go back. Tears well up in her eyes as she speaks.
私がこんなに早く帰ってきたのはダメだったからなんです。
We're really banking on Ciel having a solution. We're getting rid of Roa, but like not getting rid of Shiki, and it really sucks that she hasn't found anything. It's basically saying that we're doomed to die, and she just wants to do one final thing.
遠野くんを助ける手段は教会にはありません。教会にあるものはロアを利用する方針だけで、転生体を助けようとする方法なんてなかったんです。
I'm not too surprised because, like, I think I mentioned this before, but if they were able to do that, they probably would have done it with the previous incarnation of Roa. After all these years, they haven't really progressed. You thought that, like, maybe with the advent of Ciel showing up at the church, that maybe they'd do some more research or more experiments to make it possible, but yeah, I'm not too surprised that she didn't find anything.
あなたを失わずにロアだけを殺す手段なんてどこにも。
I see. If that's how it has to be, at least she tried. I should have known it would never be that easy.
でも
You know, Shiki did learn some new stuff from Arcueid. I don't know how real it is or how true it is, but she did say that because Roa had a change in his method of incarnating this time, that he was a lot weaker, even though she still is successfully taking over Shiki a lot of times in the other routes. It's possible that Shiki could overcome Roa. So maybe that's how like a true ending could happen?
それはシエル先輩が泣くようなことじゃない。
いいえ、私がもっとしっかりしていれば、ロアを追うことばかり考えず、もっと他の道を探していれば、違う可能性だってあったはずなんです。
But if you didn't come back soon, then you know, if you didn't come back when you did, actually, Shiki would have died. Did you see Arcueid?
だからもう、私にできることは、ロアの侵食を少しでも遅くすることしかできない。苦しいって、遠野くんがどれだけ苦しいのか知っているのに、それでも少しでも長くそばにいてほしいって、そんな自分勝手なことばっかり考えてるんです、私は。
I don't want to watch her cry. So I put her close where I can't see her tears.
遠野くん。
俺だってできるだけ一緒にいたい。先輩は自分勝手じゃないですよ。自分勝手なのは俺の方なんだから。それに先輩がしつこくロアを追いかけていたから今があるんじゃないですか。全部を取るなんてできない。こうして先輩と一緒にいられる今の代わりにロアを消す手段を作られても嬉しくない。そんな全然欲求不満です。
What a romantic.
でもそれじゃ。
勘違いしないで。俺ロアなんかに負けるつもりはこれっぽっちもありませんから。
I remember what Arcueid said. It's a gamble, but I still have at least one card to play.
ロアの相手は俺がします。自分のことですからね。
Yeah, sure you will. You know, it might actually be possible this time, due to how much Arcueid, I mean, I don't know how much Arcueid loves Shiki now that he's killed her twice, but due to Roa's innate fear and fascination with Arcueid, things are so different compared to the last route when they were different people. Now that there were like two souls in one body, it's like, you know, that feeling of like aroused, being horrified, but also like very, very attracted to a certain someone. It just confuses you. And I feel like that's what's happening to Roa, to Arcueid, and Shiki. And it might actually cause him to maybe, I don't know, flip out.
けど確かに俺じゃアルクエイドを止められないんで、そっちは任せます。
Oh, does that mean he's gonna stand back?
はい。ありがとうございます。
Ciel's arms squeeze tight around my waist. I bring my lips to hers as we embrace. Cowards should have shown a CG of them kissing. They did it for Arcueid. Why do they favor her so much, even though they extended Ciel's route so long? I mean, just look at the flowchart, man. Ciel's route is so much longer. There's so many more scenes. I think Arcueid's route ended at like episode 26. I'm at like, or maybe 20 something. I'm in like 51 now. This has gone on for so long. I mean, I love every bit of it, don't get me wrong. But oh my god, they put in so much work into Ciel's route. I heard it's a lot, like, very different. But man, they added so much.
キスはダメですよ。
Oh wait,
そんなことされたら、私嬉しすぎて気が抜けちゃいます。
I skipped the line. I bring my lips to hers as we embrace, but then she hops back like a startled rabbit. Aww.
ですから、
I see.
今は抱き合うだけにしておきましょう。
I said they were cowards, but they're like, nope, nope, you just have to press one more line, and then you'll see that they didn't do it.
だね。じゃあ少し離れてるけど、ピンチになったら呼んでください。すぐに駆けつけますから。
Ciel nods silently. I turn away, trusting my life is safe in her hands.
ごめんなさい。一つだけ忘れ物がありました。
忘れ物ですか？
はい。明日になったら街に遊びに行きましょう。
Oh. Wait, I gotta hear that line again, because I don't think they actually mentioned, I don't think she actually said Inui.
はい。明日になったら街に遊びに行きましょう。
Yeah, I don't think she just said like tomorrow let's hang out or have some fun. I don't think she mentioned Inui.
乾くんと3人でこの前のやり直しをするんです。
Never mind. There we go. Once again, just click one more time. What are you doing? Her smile warms me from the inside. Thank goodness. Our promise really did mean something to her after all. Oh, it's so great.
それじゃあ、約束。
It's a date. I offer her a handshake.
はい。今度はちゃんと守ってくださいね。
Ciel's fingers brush against mine. She shakes my hand vigorously, then her soft touch withdraws. So cute. She's gonna be ripped to shreds. Oh my god. Part of me is like really glad that she's pseudo-immortal, because at the very least knowing that she's gonna go up against Arcueid is not gonna be like extremely horrifying. We'll still probably see her again, but that doesn't make it any easy. It makes it a little bit easier, but it doesn't make it easy. The school is quiet. I seclude myself on the 3rd floor passage, draw my knife, and take a deep breath. Ciel will keep her word. If she says she'll keep me safe, I trust that she'll stop at nothing to protect me. Unfortunately, I'm just as stubborn. I don't want to lose her any more than she wants to lose me.
そうだよな。何を弱気になってるんだ、俺は。
I've got to start thinking about my next move. Holding up here might work for a while, but I can't stay on the sideline forever. Against someone as strong as Ciel, even Arcueid won't be able to watch her back all the time. She'll let her guard down eventually. And that's when I'll strike.
俺が先輩を勝たせる。
Oh man, I don't know what just happened, but when I was looking at the background, it looked like the background was moving, but I think that's just like the ridges that the columns make made an optical illusion, or maybe I'm just going crazy, but don't worry about that. If I take one false step, Arcueid will tear me to pieces. That's exactly why Ciel sent me away. But I'm gonna try anyway, whether she likes it or not. I'll watch and wait until the very last moment. Then I'll turn the tables. Ciel and I will beat Arcueid together and force her to accept our relationship. I don't know how to deal with a yandere.
なんだそりゃ。仲人役の神父か、あいつは。
Will you let me marry this girl? No! In spite of my circumstances, I can't help but laugh.
お前との決着はその後だ。いいだろう。
I'll deal with you later. Girl's like, okay. Once we fended Arcueid off, I'll have one last desperate gamble to make. My odds of survival are low. I don't even know if my idea will work, but it's my only shot. I was given these eyes for a reason. The day will come when I have to make use of them, or so somebody once told me long ago. Oh, go best girl!
そうだね。
Oh, I thought he was gonna say Shisho or something.
俺の役割なんだ。先生。
Sensei. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm ready. Now I just have to wait for the battle to start. Oh! And it's already started. Oh god! The school shudders violently. It's like a dump truck crashed into the building at full speed.
まさか
Shiki, where are you?
The floor is still shaking. She must have smashed right through the ground floor. Only a few minutes have passed and Ciel warned me that Arcueid had pulled out her stake. There's only one way she got from the park to here in time. That idiot didn't even think to scout out the battlefield. She just charged straight for us at top speed like a pissed off homing missile. That is Arcueid for you. Oh. Impact after impact rocks the building. I can't believe this is her. The Arcueid I knew was powerful, sure, and she could do some crazy things, but she wasn't irrational. What? What do you mean? Did you not see her 5 minutes ago? She understood her relationship with society. She realized that subtlety was essential to peaceful coexistence, and she doesn't want coexistence anymore. She could be ruthless in executing her goals, but she wouldn't resort to ruthlessness to achieve them. None of that is true anymore. The creature she has become will stop at nothing to get what she wants. No difference from Vlove. I recall Ciel and Arcueid's midnight battle in the park. Ciel could only fight back because Arcueid, in her own way, still conformed to human rules. She cared about maintaining dignity that separated a true ancestor from a dead apostle. It is true. She also tried to stay in Shiki's good side, and both those demerits are gone. But if she abandoned her pride, what happens then?
違う捨てたんじゃない
I once again thought, I was like, that scene reminded me of that moment when in the Arcueid's route when Mario and Noelle came to ambush us. But it was slightly different. She was in a different costume, but it was the same exact pose, the same exact face. I'm pretty sure if you overlaid them, they would be the same image, but just edited slightly. Part of me is like, oh, that's cool, but another part of me is like, they kind of reuse assets. It's a little bit lazy, but honestly, at the end of the day, it was still really cool, so I don't really mind. I cut it away. The creature 2 floors down is not the woman I knew. She's a blood-starved vampire just as ravenous as Vlove. I was a fool to assume that she behaved as she always has.
先輩
I set off running for the lower floors. How arrogant to think that I could hang back and wait for an opening. The real answer was to fight her on her own terms, to abandon my rationality and hit her with everything I've got. Ooh, okay, I'm just hoping that Ciel has not been sliced into 17 pieces. Oh shit! Oh my god! That's so much blood, and you know it's all Ciel's. Oh shit! Because if you look at all the black keys, none of them seem to have like actually stabbed Arcueid, since there's no blood at like the edge of the blade, or at least not, sorry, like the bottom of the blade. So that means none of them pierced her. They were all splatted. All the blood was splatted onto her. Oh my god! And I know she's immortal, but like, holy shit! The ground floor is a living nightmare. I mean, I was hoping this Ciel wouldn't be in 17 different pieces, but at this rate, she might be in more. I halt on the landing, stunned. The corridor lies in ruins, torn apart by overwhelming strength. Next to the catacomb beneath the department store or Vlove's Arctic cold, this is comparatively mundane. But my legs are frozen stiff. The sight holds captive the very breath in my lungs, my consciousness itself. This once familiar hallway now feels utterly alien. The air hangs as thick as pneumatic fluid. It feels like the womb of some primal beast, where every atom of every molecule bends to Arcueid's will. Oh, they're there. Ooh! Amidst it all, the battle has ended in crushing defeat. So, good news. She's still alive, she's still struggling, and she's not in 17 different pieces. Bad news. All of the blood was indeed Ciel's. As you can see, her habit is completely drenched, while Arcueid is almost completely clean, other than the fat of her like sleeve where she has Ciel's blood on it. I mean, theoretically, she should also have the blood on her, for like the front part, near her chest because of when Shiki sliced her, but maybe she just slurped up that blood again and it's completely fine. Only 30 meters separate us, but they seem like a world away. Countless black keys, all broken, litter the corridor. Globs of blood and flesh peel off the walls and ceiling to converge on scattered body trying to reform. I was wrong. She's not in one piece. They just put her together and then showed us the image. She was in multiple different pieces, just trying to stick together. Oh my god. I mean, that's what I expected, but oh my god. I'm kind of glad they didn't show us the several pieces of Ciel because that would have been kind of hard. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they did it with Arcueid, but even seeing that image was like, ooh man, that was quite something. That was really gory. Herself is pressed up against the wall, empty-handed and helpless, with Arcueid's claw around her throat, like a butterfly pinned to a spreading board. On the brink of death, seems blind to anything besides Arcueid. Wait a second. That was Arcueid's right hand, which I previously saw in the previous frame was drenched in blood. It's clean now. Arcueid's finger brushes her throat. A wet gurgle. They puncture the skin before slipping lovingly down her waist. Ugh. Oh god. Lurid color sprays as body sags, sliced open like a fish. Ooh, that's not something you want to see on your loved one. Oh, vibe check. Arcueid's claw returns to his chest. Her fingers splay wide and plunge deep, as though punching through virgin snow, and grasp for her heart. Oh, Shiki's not gonna stand for this. I can't watch this. Might be immortal, but pulling her heart from her chest while she's still alive? That's sick. Arcueid caresses her prey's head with her talons. Oh my god! Then she swipes down, shaving flesh away from cranium to groin, as though rubbing her with an eraser.
Arcueid!
I call out, still frozen stiff. Arcueid glances back at me with detached contempt. She may as well be looking at a bug. Ooh, oh, it's Berserk Arcueid. Under the weight of her gaze, I forgot I'm even human.
なんだ、ちゃんといるじゃない。そこで待っていて。すぐに終わらせてあげるから。
Okay, she's so scary. Oh fuck. Oh god. With a savage laugh, Arcueid returns to brutalizing. He holds her in place by her broken collarbone, using her other hand to rake again and again at her flesh.
呆れた。これでも元に戻るなんて。やっぱりロア本人を殺さないとダメってこと。
Good thing he's right here. Flesh tears. A grim repetition of torment brutal endured at the hands of the church unfolds.
私がロアを取り込んでしまえば、あなたは私が死ぬまで生き続けるしかなくなる。
That is true.
あなたが死ぬには、教会で用意した転生批判の聖剣でロアを殺さないといけない。
Oh, okay. I was like, Arcueid's hand should be drenched in blood. And just now they showed it drenched in blood, but turned back to being clean as a whistle. Because it's Ciel's blood, and it's trying to reform, so all of it's going back to Ciel's body. But if that was the case, then there shouldn't be bloodstains on the wall and the floor and stuff like that, because they should all be converging back to Ciel, right? Why didn't that happen?
それが
Oh.
どうしたって言うんですか。
You can see most of the blood kind of like go away from Ciel's habit. You still see like some smudges that are a lot lighter, but in the background you can see that there is like the walls behind her that are still covered in blood. So I guess it's just not completely consistent, but they try their best. There are two different layers. I can buy that. Groans in agony, barely holding on to consciousness.
けれど、いいの？ロアが死ぬということは、あなたも死ぬということなのよ。ロアを消滅させてしまえば、あなたのこの体も普通の、つまらない人間の体に戻ってしまうでしょう。それが、私の望みです。 そう。かわいそうね。あなたの望みは叶えられない。
Oh no.
私は今度こそロアを取り込む。あそこにいる肉塊をこの手で何百回と引き裂いてね。
Ooh, into 1,000 tiny pieces. Oh. Body jerks wildly. Her crimson heart emerges into the open air, trilling the rest of her organs behind it. Even then, she doesn't stay dead for long. Blood sputters from her mouth as her consciousness returns. Something snaps inside my head. Agony springs into my temples. Oh god damn it. Nausea climbs up my throat. And we see this a lot. Get the fuck out! What are you doing? Do you not see that I'm trying to fight this thing? You don't want to fight it! I slam my head against the wall. Oh my god, Ro's like, hey, I'm still here. He's like, shut the fuck up, man. That's not the time. Sorry, that's exactly what he said, actually. Shut the fuck up, this is not the time. That's hilarious. He literally just gave Ro the bird and just continues on. I slam my head against the wall. Look at her. That parasite's the last of your concern. No matter what matters now is stopping her from laying another finger on. Look at her. Whoa, that was a pretty cool transition. Overclock her brain until your veins burst into flames. Like, you see all the blood in the background? That's all Ciel. So like, it should all back into her, right? Oh, look at her! 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 Look and finds her death. Ah, he's trying to use his mystic eyes of death perception, kind of like how he did on Ro in the final fight in the other route, where he didn't originally have that many lines, but the more she concentrated, the more lines he was able to basically create and impose on his target. So he's trying to do that on Arcueid as well. Find her death. It's enough to drive me mad. I see death defacing the living, the inanimate, and the air itself. But Arcueid alone remains pristine. Somebody once told me the laws of nature decree her perfect by virtue of her existence. True ancestors exist as an extension of the planet, drawing their vitality from its own reserves. They have no such thing as a lifespan. They will never age, never tire, never die. Never die. In other words, her invincibility is a function of the natural world. Look around. Kill the natural world. It has to be somewhere. If I can see every kind of death, surely I can see this. All this time I've been barking up the wrong tree. Arcueid is insulated from the very possibility of death. What that means, if I can kill whatever is granting her that protection, she'll no longer be invincible. She's getting that protection from the planet, right? Are you gonna kill the planet? Won't that kill everyone? Oh. There. I'm not sure what he's referring to. It's getting darker. It's a long way away, and Arcueid's right here. If I run straight for it, she'll realize what I'm doing. I'll be dead before I even get close. But I have to try. Is he drawing power from like a ley line or something? And he's just gonna stab the ley line? I guess? It seems a little bit inconsistent with the other ending, or maybe she just didn't make one of the other. I don't really know, man. But I have to try. I can't let this gruesome display go on for one more second. Huh? Perhaps she felt my determination, or perhaps her faculties include the ability to sense impending death. She gives me a dubious glance. It follows my line of sight and then turns back to me. You wouldn't. With an incredulous hiss, she lets Ciel drop. Uh-oh. No time to second guess myself. A human might have taken the stairs, but not me. Like I'd listen to you. Take our warning and shove it. I smashed through the schoolyard window before Arcueid can even move. My objective lies in the middle of the sports field. It's a long way to run. I don't know if I'll make it. I hear Arcueid tear through the concrete wall behind me. She's giving me the time I need. Arcueid is humanly fast, but I'm not human either. Just this once, I'm gonna come out on top. Go, Shiki, go, go, go. I arrive at my destination, a colossal point of death. Arcueid barrels straight for me, but before her claws can rip me apart, I drive my knife straight down and kill the very earth beneath my feet. The air twists with an audible crunch. With my knife, I split the world's lifeblood. Shit. That is... Oh, that's actually really cool. Arcueid's link to the planet's life force goes dead as it killed this layer of the natural world, the foundation of everything around us. Okay, I guess he did kill the Earth, or at least a part of it that granted Arcueid the protection. It's just a little bit lucrative. Like, it just happens to be in this spot, but maybe there are just... Arcueid's immortal because she gets power from the Earth, but I guess because the Earth is anywhere, you can technically stab it in different places and it'll still kill the Earth. So one just happens to be here, or Shiki maybe manifested here. I'm not sure. It's just... It's a little bit contrived. The white avatar comes for me. Eyes trained on me alone. Oh, she can see the death lines on her now. Lines crisscross her body. Crisscross! Night still blesses her, but her authority is fatally besmirched.
Yosh!
Got you! I can do it. I can really do it. I can kill her. But before I can even revel in the possibility... Whoa! She's already in front of us. Oh! Blood explodes from my mouth, staining my vision red. I'm assuming Arcueid, like, impaled him? Because she's really fast? What? Her monstrous speed is too fast to process. For a moment, I felt nothing, the shock and pain numbed by disbelief. Only now do I hear the tearing of flesh and bone. My lifeblood drains away in a spurt. Oh, in spurts. I look down, and I see Arcueid's arm punch clean through me. My vision begins to blur. No, you still have one final action. Do it, do it. The world rapidly falls away. One pale arm skewers my chest, obliterating my old scar. It's a grievous wound. If I were human, it would have killed me instantly. But I'm not. I'm not done yet. I still have enough life in me for one final push. Death's dark shadow swallows my feet and begins to climb. Death's dark shadow can go to hell! Swallowing back a mouthful of my own blood, I drive my knife into the line sprawled across Arcueid's chest. Fuck! I suppose that must have been her voice. I'm not gonna lie, that stings is still kind of cute. I can't really tell anymore. My head is liquefying. Maybe the pain's overwhelming my consciousness. Maybe my brain is finally burning out. Either way, the Reaper's hand is on my shoulder. The world begins to dim, but before it goes, I ensure my knife completes its arc. Arcueid! I suppose I wanted to sell things with Arcueid myself. I know what she's like. Though we spent only a few days together, I'm all too familiar with her lack of common sense, what strange things she says for a vampire, and how much tougher she is than she looks. But even knowing all that... Oh man, it's a BBEG, you freaking hit its critical point and they're like, owie! He's like, bro!
疲れたんなら消えろ、吸血鬼。
ふざけないで。この程度で私は死なないんだから。
Ooh. Arcueid's hand closes over my face. Before she can crush my skull, I slash her breastbone open.
いいから消えろ。ロアは俺が連れて行く。お前に手間なんかかけさせないで。必ずあの世に連れて行ってやる。だから消えろ。俺はお前とバカな殺し合いなんざやりたくない。
Oh man, Shiki's... he is... affirmed himself to death, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take Arcueid... I'm sorry, I'm gonna take Ro with me. Fuck off, Arcueid.
今さら何よ。私を拒んだのはあなたの方じゃない。
Arcueid squeezes tighter. Oh, crack! I hear my skull start to
ロ
fracture.
アはここで殺すの。絶対に殺すの。そうでもしなければ帰らないって言ったでしょ。
I've had enough of her temper tantrums. You should know better than anyone that killing Roa won't solve shit. My knife dances through the air. It glides soundlessly into Arcueid's arm. Her hand remains attached, but it relaxes his grip. A few more seconds. Thank God, she must be running on fumes as well. She retreats unsteadily, reeling from the blood loss. Ooh. Her arms slide back out of my chest. I see. Okay, so yeah, she had him impaled with one arm and her vice grip on his skull on the other. And you can see the slash that Shiki made across her chest. Or it's not even across, it's like straight down. The intimacy of her presence recedes. As soon as she steps away, I crumple to the ground.
シキ。
Her voice sounds strangely hesitant. I'm fucking dying here. My throat doesn't seem to be working. Something's clogging it. I try to speak, but only manage to cough up blood.
シキ。
The tautness in the air is relaxing. Arcueid's murderous aura gradually dissipates. I must have knocked some sense into her, because she's finally turning back to the person I knew.
よかった。
I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I suppose this is how it ends.
しっかりしてシキ。
Nah, this is yeah, I don't know. It's a bit too late there.
そんな傷ぐらいシキが私のものになってくれるならすぐに平気になるんだから。
Arcueid reaches towards me. But even as my mind fades, I raise my hand to stop her.
なんでシキ、このままだと死んじゃうんだよ。
And it's your
さっ
fault!
きのことは許してあげる。シエルのことも気にしない。そんなことより私シキに亡くなってほしくない。
Oh
お
man.
願いだから私のものに。
Now that she knows it's the end, it's like, okay, I know I can't have you. I know that you're gonna be with Ciel, but please don't die. I don't want to lose you, man. Even breathing is a struggle now. But I somehow find the strength to shake my head.
わからない。シキが死んじゃったらロアはまた転生してしまう。シキだってロアを恨んでいるんでしょ。
Nah, Shiki has a way to stop him.
そのままだとあなたが死んでしまった後、ロアがその体を乗っ取るだけ。そんな結末でいいの？
She has a point. That's one loose end I have to tie up. But if I do what she says, I'll just repeat the cycle. Even if I did as she asked, even if I followed Roa's path, become a vampire, and develop the strength to resist him, Roa would still never disappear until Arcueid gave him the affection he craves. That is true. He's still gonna be
お
there.
前の言うことは聞けない。
どうしてそんなに私のことが嫌いなの？
Nah, it's because he really likes you, and she doesn't like you when you're hungry. Man, Arcueid. I like Arcueid with golden eyes too. She's very pretty. Like hell I do. I'd never say that, even as a joke.
お前の気持ちもわかるけど、もう許してやってくれ。ロアはさ、お前に振り向いて欲しかっただけなんだ。そのために何回も生き返って、お前がやってくるのを心待ちにしていた。
You're just a weird vampire guy with a weird fetish for getting killed by you, Arcueid.
でも、あいつは人間なんだ。お前のように長く長く生きられる命じゃない。
It is really weird how they tried to humanize Roa in this arc by saying like, yeah, his motivations, he didn't understand them. It wasn't until like now where he saw Arcueid's affection towards Shiki, which is quote unquote himself, that he really kind of broke down his ideology and his reason for continuing his cycle. And we only saw it like very briefly. Ultimately, immortality is forever beyond human reach. Roa hoped to preserve his identity through reincarnation, but even that had its limits. Ultimately, he only created a clone that shared his goal. He failed to preserve his original memories, self, or emotions, not in any way that retained their worth. Both his heart and the beauty that captivated it faded over the centuries. No one, least of all Roa, could withstand the ravage of time.
ロアはいないのと同じなんだ。あいつは始まりの命令に沿って同じことを繰り返すだけのプログラムと変わらない。
Okay, yeah, that does make sense. I was always kind of like a little bit confused at how Roa worked. Oh, because it was all like soul hopping. It only hops when it like someone dies. I thought it was like a copy paste thing, and it only awakens once someone dies, and the other one, you know, reawakens. But I guess it's like a mix of both, where it's like he transfers his soul, but also it's like multiple copies of his soul are on other people, and they'll become the quote unquote the real soul once the other previous host dies. I guess that's kind of how it works. I mean, I'm still not completely sure. If someone, you know, can explain it, please feel free to explain it to me, because I don't think I'll get a concrete answer at this game, for lack of better words, or maybe even ever, because I don't know how much I'll explore Roa and the other routes when they come out. But it's still a little bit confusing to me. Huh.
だからこの辺りで終わりにしてやらないと。
シキ、あなた、もう。
I'm thinking Ciel's gonna show up, be like, no, I don't want you to die, please, no! The madness recedes from Arcueid's eyes. Savage gold dims to the tender crimson. Aww, her golden hair sways under the moonlight. Once more, she's that otherworldly woman who stole my heart. Aww. I really like, I know I already mentioned this before in the other route, but it's really like, it hits really hard when they play the instrumental version of like in the opening, like a different version of it, but oh, it's really good. I look up to her like she's the moon in the night sky. I'm sorry, Ciel, but Arcueid really is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. From her crimson eyes to her regal yet gentle bearing, to the slender contours of her pale body, even to the bloody blossom I slash across her breast. Even that wound I inflicted upon her. I think it's really funny how like we're praising Arcueid so much in this route, because like I mean one thing that I always found weird is like we see how Shiki falls in love with the person whose route it is. Like we see how he falls in love with Ciel, how he falls in love with Arcueid, but because Arcueid played such a big role in like the intro, it always made me think like, it's kind of weird that all the Arcueid development is going to be thrown out the window, but in this case, it really hasn't. It's just he still really likes Arcueid, but now because of his interactions with Ciel, he likes her more. I'm sorry that has to end this way. My chest twinges at the thought of what might have been. Good going, Arcueid. If only you come to your senses a little sooner, we wouldn't have needed to act out this little farce. So he's talking about this interaction, actually, like this interaction of trying to kill each other. If you come to your senses, is that gonna be like the choice we can make now for the true ending? I think so. Like going back to that choice over here. Here he says, I can't be your servant, but will he say that he could be in the other choice? I forgot what the other choice was. I don't know.
そうなの、シキ。あなた、もうロアと一つなの。
I couldn't say. All I know is that I've finally pushed myself too far. My memories are unraveling, even as I lay here. My worldview and Roa melded into one. Someone told me that trying to look at what I can't see would end up breaking me. I wonder who that was. I can't remember anymore. No, stop
何
remembering.
よバカ。それじゃあシエルに殺されてやるっていう
Let me
の
stop
あ
forgetting.
なたは。
まさか。けど、お前のおかげでこのざまだ。もう、長くは持たないだろう。
Arcueid looks down at herself. At the vertical slash, my knife tore down her chest.
信じられない。今まで私をこんなに傷つけた相手はいなかったわ。
She has a fetish of being harmed by Shiki. It's true. I'll be the first and last to touch Arcueid's heart. Literally. I can be proud of that at least.
本当に残念。けど、私もそろそろ限界みたい。この傷を治すには故郷に戻って、また長い眠りにつかないと。
Wait for the world to restore itself and then it can heal you again.
だろ。なら、さっさと帰っちまえ。
Get out of here. She doesn't reply. The pause between us isn't a silence as such. Just a shared moment. A lull while we both feel the weight of our parting.
はあ、嫌な男。最後まで憎まれ口を叩くんだから。ちょっとぐらい優しいこと言ってくれるかなって期待したのに。
なんだそりゃ。優しくして欲しかったら、もっとか弱いとこ見せろ。バカ。
If she wants me to bare my heart, there it is. A memory flashes before my eyes. A fond recollection of walking the streets together. Though it always seemed that we'd bicker than it always seemed we'd bicker we'd rather bicker than connect.
うん。でも、四季のそういうところが好きだったな。
She really liked arguing with Shiki. Those are the last words she ever says to me. With a smile on her face, she dissolves into mist. Ah, we're looking at the moon now.
なんだ。
I lift my gaze to the moon. For a moment, just a moment, we were back to the way we used to be. I believe that's actually the waning moon. I really did love her in the end. Roa's influence had nothing to do with it. I just want to see more of her smile. That time we spent our final moments together fighting is one last cruel irony. I wonder why things ended up this way. Because you chose I chose the choices for you, but still. I've made my share of mistakes, but as far as Arcueid was concerned, I always thought that I'd steered the right course. The bleeding won't stop. Every breath I take forces a spurt of blood from my throat. My consciousness flickers. Arcueid could have managed a little more restraint. My vampiric body has its perks, but can't heal a hole in my chest. Okay, bro, it's like my turn now, bitch. A jolt shudders through me. It's not my heart that stopped beating a long time ago. It's my head. I must have fried my brain trying to keep up with Arcueid. Roa's will is waxing, while all that remains of Shiki Tohno is steadily waning. The waning and the waxing moon. I forgot which one is which. Soon, my body will shut down. If I die in the interim, control of it will pass to Roa. A true vampire like him will recover from this wound in a way I never could. And then I'll end up going through the same horrors as Ciel did.
ごめん。
I know I'm only making myself feel better, but I still feel like I have to say it. My body shudders again. I'm holding onto consciousness by my fingertips now. Before I let go, I turn my eyes on myself. There, where my old scar marks my chest, I find it. The point that marks my death and Roa's. You said you want to make me happy. You said you want to make me happy. Do you remember that? If you really meant it, don't throw your life away. All I can do is apologize. She deserves so much, and I have been able to give her none of it. But this, at least, I can do. Here, at the last, I can free her from her burden. Exhaling slowly, I bring my knife to my own chest. The tip rests against my point of death. All that's left is to push down. It'll be so easy. Don't! I think Ciel's probably gonna show up. Don't! A voice whispers in my ear. I must be hearing things.
Tohno-kun!
Oh, Ciel, yeah, there we go. Someone cries my name. I turn to see her running my way, her wounds healed. Don't! My resolve will falter if I look her in the eye. Guilt will rob me of the strength to hold the knife. I have to finish this before she comes. Is he gonna do it? Oh. I push down. The knife slides in without so much as a whisper. Oh man. Oh. I gotta see that again. Yeah. It's here. This is supposed to emulate like that thing that shows like their life, but it just stops. I forgot what that machine is called, but you see it in like hospitals and like movies all the time. It's like beep beep, beep beep. The thing that shows like their heart rate, and she basically stopped his own heart. I see. The knife slides in without so much as a whisper. It's so easy. It'll be so easy. As I once did so many years ago. I fall into a deep, deep darkness. Wait, so many. Wait. So many years ago? Wait, okay.
Tohno-kun! Tohno-kun!
He did that many years ago? I don't think he's. Because, like, he didn't kill Roa. He didn't kill other Shiki. Who did he do it against years ago? A distant voice reaches my ears.
Tohno-kun!
There it is. I knew it.
やだ。こんなの、私は嫌です。
I knew if I stuck around long enough to hear her cry.
どうして死なないって、死なないって言ったのに。
I'd end up regretting my choices. Oh man. Oh. That was kind of rough, I'm not gonna lie. Damn, I guess, do we actually have a day 15? I don't know. Okay, let's head into it actually. Midnight Rainbow. I don't know how long this is. Actually, I'm just gonna try to look up a video just to see how long the 15th day is. I don't want it to be too long, since I'm actually recording very, very late at night. Okay, so this episode might be a little bit short, but it seems like this last day is still gonna be a little bit beefy. So I think I'm gonna save this for next time. It seems like it's gonna be like an hour or so, or maybe an hour and a half by my pace. But yeah, well, you can see what the ending's gonna look like. Oh, that was really, really intense. The final confrontation between Shiki and Arcueid. I do feel like it's kind of like, man, the world just happens to spawn this one death point at a spot where Shiki was close enough to stab. And it's really, I don't know, it's really heart-wrenching because Arcueid still really loves Shiki. She went berserk because, you know, I guess she couldn't hold it in anymore after being sliced through the neck. But in the end, she just really wants him to survive. And it kind of worked the opposite, where he essentially died because she went a little bit too ham. Oh man, this is rough. I'll do a little bit of day 15. Maybe we're currently in the past. I'll stop when we're back in the present or something. It's the perfect day for a walk. Not a single blemish marks the cloudless sky. Glittering sunlight graces the worlds from beyond the mountains on the horizon. The purest definition of an azure sky. I stopped to rest at my usual bench in the plaza. On the bench behind me sits a stranger, quietly reading a book. I nearly mistook him for a part of the scenery. So natural was his presence. Clad in a priest's robes, he looks as if he might have been sitting there, flicking through the pages for centuries on end. Where exactly are we supposed to be?
いい天気ですね。
Isn't that Shiki's voice? I think that's Shiki's voice. Hold up.
こんにちは。
Yeah, that's Shiki's
い
voice.
い天気ですね。
Having been brought together under such a brilliant sky, it's only common courtesy that I greet him.
ええ、いい天気です。晴れた日は日差しが強すぎて目が疲れるのが困りものですが、太陽の匂いはやはりいい。部屋にこもっていると忘れがちな万人に平等に与えられた自然の恩恵というやつですね。
This is actually really interesting. That's Roa's voice. So he's basically having a last final conversation in his head with Roa. I was like, how does he have a day 15? He's freaking dead. The priest laughs wryly as he flips through the pages. Despite the abject coldness in his voice, his manner is gentle and personable. Strangely, no matter how intently I peer at him, I can't make out his face. I can't discern the man he was, nor the features he once had. It's like looking at a picture taken out of focus.
じゃあ、これから例の城に。
A castle? On a whim, I decide to strike up a conversation. The priest nods, looking somewhat bashful.
どうして転生なんか。一個体として生き続けた方が簡単だし、何より人に迷惑をかけないでしょうに。
This is actually really cool because other than the times when Roa took over Shiki's body and when Roa died, we never actually got to, hear Roa and much less speak with him and have a conversation with him. The only time we did in the other route was when we were fighting, so there was no really reason to converse with him.
それでは限界にたどり着くからですよ。人間の近く、全能への道には果てがない。どれほどの超越者になろうと、上には上がいる。私は完全なものを理解しようと考え、
Perfection.
永遠なるものの背中に手をかけようと試みた。であれば、己に支払えるものは全て支払うべきでしょう。1を捨て、10を得る。初期衝動を巻にし、自分自身を灰にしても、私だった者が目指した人間の意味を証明すると決めたのです。
The meaning of human life is quite the question. I don't know what the meaning behind human life might be. All I know is that it's nothing so noble or sublime. 42! What lies at the end of the world? At the furthest flung reaches of humanity's future. All feel that curiosity as a child, but while most lose it as they grow, he has held on to it his whole life long. The wind must have picked up. Clouds gather overhead, dimming the sunlight that bathed the plaza. I still can't make out the priest's face, let alone the expression he is wearing.
天気が崩れてきましたね。俺は帰りますけど、あなたは？
私に帰り道はありません。片道切符というやつです。それもここで終点のようですが。
Oh, that's pretty poetic. I wonder if this is supposed to be based off where Roa's from. It kind of reminds me of France, but I kind of forgot if he's from France or not. A lot of the French scenes were from Ciel and Noel's POV. And that's kind of poetic. One-way ticket to hell. And yeah, he's about to arrive. I hear no sadness in his voice. He sounds neither fulfilled nor disappointed. The sun starts to sink below the horizon. Soon it will be twilight. I stand up and set off home. I don't feel like looking back, nor do I need to.
ですが一つ、言葉を残しましょう。夜に虹がかかることはない。確かにその通りです。
Rainbows do not appear during the night. That much is known. What was this chapter called again? Midnight Rainbow. Oh, right. They referenced this before. I forgot who. I think it was Ciel who talked about it. It was a French saying that basically don't wish for the impossible because, you know, rainbows don't appear at midnight, but now that's the title of the chapter.
本来、それはありえないことですからね。ですが、
However,
ありえないこととは、まだ誰も成し遂げていないということでもある。
they merely mean the unprecedented. It's only impossible because you don't know how.
もし君が未踏の航路に旅立つのなら、忘れないことです。この世界に起こり得ないことはありません。
You can have midnight rainbows.
あなたの人生において、己のすべてを支払う好機に出会えるのなら、どんな闇の中であろうと、虹をかけるくらいはできるでしょう。
I wonder why he's saying this. There's honestly, I don't know how she could survive this. There's one thing that kind of stuck with me, and that was when Arcueid said two things. One is that Roa will always be in you, but you can overpower it, always be yourself. So you won't, you know, Roa can never take over you, so you can always, you know, I guess I already said this, but be yourself. But she said something else as well. She is like, if you stab that death spot on yourself, is it going to kill you or is it going to kill Roa? Here, I feel like they're setting this thing up where it's like, yeah, it was impossible for you to live, but somehow you made a midnight rainbow. You're going to survive this somehow. I think that's how it's gonna end up working. I know this is technically spoiling myself, but there is like an hour of day 15. It can't just, I mean, clearly this conversation's ending. It has to be more, unless we switch into Ciel's POV. I don't really see how Shiki could be dead in day 15, at least the entire day. So maybe by some chance, now that he's found out that when he stabs a death point, maybe he only killed Roa, and for some reason his body was also able to heal up. Maybe because Ciel was there and healed him up. I'm not quite sure. I keep saying I'm not quite sure, but there are a lot of things in this universe that I'm not quite sure about. But I feel like that's what they're gonna lead to. That would make the most sense given how they structured their hints and story. And so, the man in the priest's robes is gone. All that remains on the bench is a weathered old book. With a flutter, the pages scatter to the wind. They disappear without a trace, lost to the end of this world. Alright, I'm gonna end it right here. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill out here because I feel like the next scene is going to be, basically, how do I phrase this? I don't know, it's gonna be something different, and I don't want to actually see what it is yet. I feel like this is probably a good stopping place. So, yeah. I think, I already said why I think. I think Shiki's gonna come back. Or something's gonna allow him to do the impossible. Roa wouldn't say that. The person who's literally in him, trying to control him, wouldn't say that if that weren't the case. They're also parting ways. They're not going to hell together. So, I think Shiki's going to live somehow. It'd be kind of nice because it'd be an ending where both Shiki and the girl of the route survive. I don't know how often that happens. I mean, it technically happened in the Arcueid route, but it was a very bittersweet ending because they had to split up. But here, if Shiki lives, they're both alive. If Shiki dies, then I guess it's another bittersweet ending. But I guess we'll see next time. And until then, I will be seeing you. See ya!